That morning, as I tended to the delicate orchids in my greenhouse, I was blissfully unaware of the storm that was brewing just beyond my tranquil sanctuary. My hands plunged deep into the earth, grappling with the tangled roots of the bulbs I had just entrusted to the soil. All was calm and ordinary, just like any other day, until an unexpected jolt of agony pierced through my back. Little did I know the storm that was brewing, especially with my second nephew Caleb unexpectedly in the mix. My greenhouse had always been my refuge, a place to retreat to after the heart-wrenching loss of my husband Zachary. It had transformed into the sole sanctuary that truly mended my spirit. Yet on that fateful day, an unsettling shift hung in the air. At 65, I often found myself the subject of curious glances and whispered questions. "Kara, how do you manage to look so young at your age?" they would ask, their voices tinged with disbelief and admiration. In truth, there was nothing hidden beneath the surface. I simply prioritized my own well-being. A commitment to a nourishing diet, the relentless pursuit of physical vitality, and an unwavering resolve to hold on to the vibrant spirit of the young woman I once was. Yet, I confess that the weight of solitude has taken hold of my very essence. Though my beauty still drew gazes, an unsettling emptiness lingered within me, an ache I couldn't escape. As I carefully adjusted one of the bulbs, an unexpected jolt of pain pierced through my back, leaving me momentarily breathless. The intensity of the moment struck me like a lightning bolt, causing me to release everything I clutched in my hands. For a fleeting moment, I shut my eyes, desperately seeking solace in my breath to ease the torment. Yet it proved futile. The agony coursed through my shoulder and into my back, rendering me immobile, trapped in a moment of sheer helplessness. Suddenly, like a bolt from the blue, Caleb's voice pierced through the silence. "Kara, is everything all right with you?" My nephew Caleb, just 23, possesses broad shoulders and a muscular build with a striking face that could grace the cover of any magazine. His brown hair glimmered under the sun, while his intense gaze bore into me, filled with a deep sense of worry. He possessed an undeniable allure, one that captivated all who crossed his path, even though he appeared oblivious to it all. And now, all that vibrant spirit appeared entirely directed towards my aid. "My back," I managed to utter, gesturing to the spot where the agony throbbed most intensely. A sense of dread washes over me, paralyzing my every limb. "Do you have what it takes to face this moment? This is a tale that transcends the ordinary. This is a journey where boundaries fade, feelings intertwine, and revelations echo like unvoiced cries. Each heartbeat has the power to awaken deep feelings within, pushing the boundaries of your understanding to the edge. If this tale resonates with you, be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications to show your support." Caleb edged closer, his presence heavy with unspoken tension. "Allow me to assist you," he urged, his voice thick with urgency. As his large hands made contact with my shoulders, an unexpected shiver coursed through me, igniting a tumult of feelings within. "I can give you a massage. It often brings relief," he said, his voice laced with concern. I felt utterly powerless to voice my dissent. I was desperate to find a way to ease the suffering that consumed me. Yet, what truly caught me off guard was the profound impact his touch had on my very being. Caleb's hands found their way to my back, applying a gentle pressure that stirred something deep within me. I have to confess, it has been ages since I experienced such an intense bond. His fingers, powerful yet unexpectedly gentle, glided over my taut muscles, igniting a storm of sensations within me. The agony gradually subsided, giving way to an unfamiliar warmth that coursed through every fiber of my being. It felt like the solitary figure within me had abruptly come to life. I released a heavy breath, filled with unspoken turmoil. Perhaps a touch too profound, wouldn't you say? "Caleb," I tried to speak, but the words clawed at my throat, refusing to escape. I was unable to see it through to the end. He remained silent as well. He continued to press and knead, lost in the moment. His hands glided across my back, igniting a storm of awareness with each fleeting caress. In that instant, I sensed a shift occurring, a profound change that filled me with both fear and an unexpected surge of emotion. Caleb's hands moved with purpose across my back, each stroke filled with intensity, until an abrupt pause shattered the moment. He leaned in, his gaze piercing through the tension that hung between us. "Amelia, this is truly dire," he said, his voice heavy with concern. "This situation is beyond repair in the greenhouse. We're going to gather around the flickering flames, feeling the heat draw us in. The warmth will soothe your pain, and I'll bring some cream to ease your back's burden. This situation demands our immediate attention." For a fleeting moment I wavered, yet the agony surged within me, compelling my choice. I sank into my seat, feeling the weight of the world, and then he reached out, lifting me back to my feet. "Be cautious, take your time," he urged, his firm grip anchoring me in place. In that moment, his embrace enveloped me with an intensity that stirred long-buried feelings, igniting a connection I thought was lost forever. As we stepped into the crackling embrace of the flames, Caleb illuminated the space with a radiant, golden warmth that enveloped us all. The heat wrapped around me, a soothing embrace that momentarily eased the tightness coiling within my body. Caleb hurriedly laid out a blanket on the floor, his hand beckoning me to lie down, an unspoken tension hanging in the air. "You need to stretch your back in a more comfortable position," he said, his serious eyes betraying a flicker of hesitation. "I possess a small amount of cream that could aid Pocinta in releasing those tense muscles." I reclined, the searing warmth of the fire enveloping me as Caleb meticulously worked the cream between his hands, igniting a tension in the air. The moment his hand brushed against my shoulders, a breath I didn't know I was keeping escaped my lips, heavy with unspoken tension. "Calm yourself," he murmured gently. "The storm within you will pass soon enough." Yet each brush of his hands transcended mere relief from my physical suffering. He was unearthing a part of me, a hidden piece I believed I had long since laid to rest. As his fingers glided behind my back, a storm of clarity and confusion surged within me. Caleb's touch stirred something deep within me, igniting a fire that had long been dormant. For a fleeting instant, uncertainty gnawed at my core, yet the anguish overwhelmed me. In that moment, I found myself unable to resist the pull, and I surrendered without hesitation. Caleb grasped my arm with a tender urgency, lifting me to my feet as a whirlwind of feelings surged between us. "Be cautious, take your time," he urged as his powerful hands nearly enveloped me entirely. A peculiar warmth enveloped me, a fragile shield against the chaos surrounding my heart. The shield of this young man enveloped me in a warmth I hadn't experienced in what felt like an eternity. As we stepped into the house, the flickering flames of the fireplace cast a hauntingly beautiful orange glow, enveloping the room in an atmosphere thick with unspoken tension. The fire crackled ominously, its heat enveloping the room, stirring a sense of calm amidst the tension that lingered in the air. Caleb hurriedly laid out a blanket on the floor, his eyes urging me to surrender to the moment and lie down. "You need to find a more comfortable position for your back," he said, his gaze intense yet flickering with an unexpected tenderness. "I also brought some cream. It will ease those tense muscles." I reclined, the warmth enveloping me like a passionate embrace, while Caleb pressed the cream into his palm, his fingers working it between them, igniting a tension that crackled in the air. The moment his hands grazed my shoulder, a gasp escaped my lips, a reaction I couldn't control. "Calm yourself," he murmured gently. "Relief will wash over you soon." Yet with every caress, an undeniable shift coursed through the air, stirring the depths of my soul. His hands not only provided me with physical relief, but they stirred deep-seated feelings within me that I had long kept hidden. As his fingers glided behind me, a tempest brewed within my mind, soothing yet tumultuous. Caleb's touch lingered, a careful exploration that stirred a tempest within, intertwining their bodies and souls in a profound connection. "I can see the tension in your muscles," he remarked, his voice carrying a warmth that drew me in. "Amelia, you are burdening yourself beyond what is reasonable. The greenhouse, the endless chores at home, but amidst it all, you must remember to prioritize your own needs as well." I struggled to make sense of it all within my own mind. "The greenhouse is my sanctuary, Caleb. Without it, I feel lost." "I understand," he interjected, his hand gentle against mine, yet a shadow of concern lingered in his eyes. I was torn between comprehension and denial, grappling with the weight of his words that lingered in the air, heavy with unspoken truths. In that charged moment, his hands descended ever so slightly on my back, deepening the intensity of the massage. The warmth of his touch eased the tension, yet within him, a different kind of turmoil was brewing. The proximity to him stirred a whirlwind of comfort and dread within me, a tumultuous blend of feelings that left my heart racing. "Caleb," I finally uttered, my voice quivering with intensity. "Your support means everything right now." "I understand," his voice whispered, dragging out each word with a heavy weight. "But you must trust that everything will turn out all right. Just take a deep breath, Amelia." His words resonated with a weight that transcended mere advice. With every heartbeat, his presence loomed nearer, igniting a tension that crackled in the air. Caleb's hands descended gently, igniting a tension that crackled in the air between us. With every gentle caress, my muscles surrendered, yet an unsettling tension surged within me, igniting a whirlwind of conflicting emotions. His warmth penetrated further, a gradual yet resolute force. In that instant, a tempest brewed within me as my thoughts spiraled into chaos, igniting a fierce battle inside. "Amelia, please just breathe," I urged, but the turmoil within me was impossible to contain. As his warm hands descended, inching toward my shoulders, my heart raced with a fervor that was impossible to ignore. On one side loomed the intense closeness of Caleb, while on the other, the unyielding boundaries that time had forged stood resolute. In an instant, the voice within me erupted with a fierce intensity. "Amelia, this is your second nephew. You must reconsider your actions." The fireplace cast a warm glow throughout the room, but as time passed, that once comforting heat transformed into an oppressive force, suffocating and relentless. As Caleb wiped the sweat from his forehead, an undeniable pull drew my gaze toward him, igniting a tumult of feelings within me. In an unexpected moment, the hem of his shirt lifted, revealing the contours of his sun-kissed physique, glistening in the flickering glow of the fire, reminiscent of a masterfully carved statue. In that moment, a whirlwind of feelings surged within me, leaving me almost speechless. It had been ages since I experienced such an intense connection with another person. The searing heat of the flames overwhelmed him, and with a desperate gesture, he let his shirt fall to the ground. His tone was nonchalant, yet the intensity in his gaze rendered me utterly immobilized. In that moment, our gazes collided. "Amelia, you are radiating an intensity," he said, his voice a blend of tenderness and authority. "If you keep wearing that shirt, things are only going to get tougher for you. Allow me to assist you." My words choked me, caught in a tumultuous struggle within. I contemplated fighting back, yet the burning sensation on my skin and the stifling atmosphere of the room had turned intolerable. I gradually found my place, the weight of the world pressing down on me. Caleb dropped to his knees beside me, his fingers trembling as they reached for the fabric of my shirt, a silent plea hanging in the air between us. His warm hands brushed against my skin, igniting a fire within me that I couldn't ignore. The touch ignited a shiver within me, not from the chill of coldness, but from an intense, almost searing warmth. With a trembling hand, he slowly lifted my shirt, his fingers brushing against my skin, and after a moment of hesitation, he pulled it off, casting it aside as if it were a barrier between us. In that instant, the atmosphere around us thickened, heavy with unspoken tension. His gaze lingered on me for a fleeting moment, filled with unspoken tension, before he abruptly averted his eyes. Even so, I could sense the turmoil within me, stirred by the intensity of his gaze, even without seeing his face. "Amelia," Caleb murmured, his voice now a rich, velvety whisper that hung in the air, thick with unspoken tension. "Are you feeling any relief now?" "I believe so," I responded, my voice trembling with uncertainty. The tempest within me raged, despite my attempts to conceal it with words. It was more than the heat. It was the intensity radiating from Caleb's presence that consumed me. "Come," Caleb urged, his hand reaching out with a desperate intensity. "Come, let's find a place where you can truly relax. this tension between us is palpable, and I can see it in your eyes." I grasped his hand tightly. The instant our fingers met, a surge of intensity coursed through me, a sensation I hadn't experienced in what felt like an eternity. As he lifted me to my feet, his powerful embrace held me steady, a moment charged with unspoken tension. In that fleeting instant, Caleb's instinct to shield those he cared for surged forth, an undeniable force that seemed to define him, as the turmoil within me started to dissolve. As we approached the sofa, he guided me down with a tender touch, a moment heavy with unspoken tension. He settled beside me right away, yet he deliberately maintained a distance that felt heavy with unspoken tension. Yet the palpable strain in the atmosphere lingered, refusing to fade away. An unspoken tension lingered between us, heavy and fraught, as if the very air crackled with the weight of emotions we couldn't articulate. As I fought to remain anchored in the moment, his gaze pulled me in, stirring a tempest of uncertainty within my soul. But one thing was undeniable. Tonight, the burden of our emotions loomed heavily over us. As we settled into our seats, an intense stillness enveloped us, punctuated only by the fiery crackle that seemed to echo our unspoken tension. My heart raced violently within my chest, each thump echoing like a drum in the silence. Caleb, seated beside me, his very presence, even the rhythm of his breath, stirred something deep within me. The proximity to him stirred a whirlwind of anxiety within me, yet there was an undeniable sense of tranquility that enveloped my heart. In that fleeting instant, I glanced away, only to find our gazes colliding with an intensity that sent a jolt through my very core. His gaze held a weight, a flicker of curiosity intertwined with an unspoken intensity that hinted at deeper truths lurking beneath the surface. In that proximity, the gaze he held was undeniable, profound and fervent, yet tinged with a gentle warmth. In that instant, it seemed as though time itself had come to a standstill. Caleb hesitated for a moment, his hand trembling as it inched closer to mine, the air thick with unspoken tension. As his fingers brushed against mine, an electric shiver coursed through my body. He remained silent, yet the weight of unspoken words hung heavily in the air. His eyes lingered on my lips for a fleeting moment, and in that instant, the world around us shifted irrevocably. He inched closer, tension crackling in the air between us. His proximity ignited a fire within me, his breath brushing against my skin like a whisper of longing. Silence enveloped me, a heavy stillness where once there was a cacophony of thoughts. All distinctions between right and wrong had vanished. In that instant, it was just Caleb's piercing gaze and the intensity of his presence enveloping me. I shut my eyes, leaning in closer, drawn by an unspoken tension between us. As our lips collided, an overwhelming sensation enveloped us, freezing the world around us in that electrifying moment. The initial caress was gentle, a tentative exploration, yet within moments, that gentleness transformed into a fervent intensity. His warmth enveloped her, his breath ignited a fire within, and the sensation of his lips was a tantalizing escape from the world around them. The ache of solitude, the swirling dread and yearning that had built up within me began to intertwine with his very essence. In that instant, it transcended the simple act of a kiss. It was the culmination of years spent in silence, where unspoken feelings and long-buried yearnings collided, hinting at a connection that had long remained in the shadows. As the kiss intensified, his hands caressed my cheeks with a tender urgency. My hands gripped his shoulders tightly, a surge of intensity coursing through me. The heat of his skin surged against my palms, igniting a tumult of feelings within me. At long last, we found ourselves parting ways simultaneously. As our gazes locked, the air thickened with tension, each breath a testament to the unyielding connection that surged between us. There was a weight in the air, a tension that begged to be addressed, yet uncertainty loomed. Still, one truth stood unwavering amidst the chaos. Tonight, everything that once connected us would be irrevocably altered. In the aftermath of the kiss, a wave of realization washed over me, leaving me breathless and trembling. My heart raced, pounding fiercely as if it might burst free from my chest. As I gazed into Caleb's eyes, I perceived an unspoken question intertwined with an intense longing. In that fleeting instant, my thoughts were engulfed in a profound stillness. My heart and body took control, guiding my choices in a whirlwind of turmoil. "Yes," I uttered, my voice quivering, yet my emotions were unmistakably vivid. "My heart aches for you, and I long for your happiness." As the words escaped my lips, an unbearable fracture echoed within me. The weight of years spent in solitude and dread suddenly evaporated, leaving me breathless in its wake. Nothing else held significance. It was just this moment, together with him, that consumed her entirely. Caleb's expression momentarily flickered with astonishment, only to be replaced by a gradual, knowing smile that hinted at deeper currents beneath the surface. The intensity in his gaze revealed a depth of feeling that enveloped me. "I love you too, Amelia," he declared, his voice a blend of tenderness and resolve. "I've fought to hold back my feelings, but the dam is breaking. My heart aches for you, and all I desire is to share my life with you." His words crashed into me like a tempest, stirring a storm within. Every word resonated deeply within me. Caleb's hands cradled my face with a tenderness that felt electric, drawing closer to me once again, the air thick with unspoken tension. This moment was charged with resolve. We were acutely aware of our desires, each longing burning fiercely within us. As his lips pressed against mine once more, the surge of feelings enveloped us, transcending the limits of language. This moment marked a profound shift in my life. Caleb's presence enveloped me, his warmth igniting a fire within, and his words resonated like echoes of a storm, stirring the depths of my soul. In the face of my deepest anxieties, I never imagined I would back down at this moment. I had done nothing to halt the unfolding events. I had utterly surrendered to the tumult of my emotions. Now, with nothing but a thin sheet over us, breathless and intertwined, Caleb lay beside me, a small smile playing on my lips, as the tension of the moment hung heavily in the air. I gazed up at the ceiling, my heart racing as I took in the sight of our shirts and pants strewn across the floor, remnants of a moment that felt both exhilarating and chaotic. The night enveloped me in an otherworldly haze, as if reality had slipped away, leaving only the echoes of a haunting dream. Caleb turned to face me, his enchanting smile lingering, a spark of tension hanging in the air between us. His hand caressed my cheek with a tender touch, his thumb lingering on my lips for a fleeting moment. "Amelia," he murmured, his voice rich and tender, "I wouldn't trade this moment for anything in the world." I faced him, my heart brimming with unspoken feelings, and spoke with a voice heavy with appreciation. "I appreciate it, Caleb. It had been ages since I experienced such profound solitude. But you, with your towering presence, youthful charm, and striking good looks, truly—" My eyes held no trace of honesty or appreciation. Caleb's lips twisted into a sly grin, a glimmer of mischief dancing in his eyes, hinting at the turmoil brewing beneath the surface. "Amelia, you are truly captivating." "Draina," he said, his voice heavy with unspoken feelings. "And I'm not just talking about your appearance. Being with you stirs something deep within me, igniting a whirlwind of sensations that I never knew existed. Your kindness, your genuine spirit, it all lifts me up and helps me embrace who I am." My gaze was irresistibly drawn to him, captivated by his every word and the electric sensation of his touch. The intensity of the moment was so profound that I felt an urgent need to etch it into my memory for all time. "I needed you, Caleb," I confessed, my voice trembling with raw vulnerability. "And you were here. I couldn't have wished for anything greater." Caleb's lips curved into a faint smile as his fingers brushed hesitantly against the edge of the sheets, a moment heavy with unspoken tension. "I will return here often, Amelia, starting now. Whenever you need me, I'll be here," he declared, his voice resonating with unwavering resolve and heartfelt sincerity. "Merely to catch a glimpse of you, merely to share these fleeting moments." In that instant, a profound shift surged within me as if a new chapter was unfolding, filled with uncertainty and anticipation. The burdens and isolation of yesteryears were gradually dissipating. With Caleb by my side, I was enveloped in a profound sense of trust and tranquility. Yet beneath the surface, a storm of unspoken tensions brewed, threatening to unravel the delicate balance we had forged. I shut my eyes, inhaled deeply, and edged nearer to his comforting presence. This night marked the dawn of something profound, the initial strides into uncharted territory. The realization that I was no longer solitary held a weight far greater than any treasure. I truly hope my story resonated with you. This journey has been nothing short of exhilarating, and I am filled with joy to unveil it to you. If you crave more tales that stir the heart and ignite the spirit, be sure to subscribe. By turning on the notifications, you will be the first to experience the thrill of a new episode's release. Your likes and comments hold immense significance for me. Your thoughts and true feelings ignite a fire within me, driving me forward with passion. Your encouragement fuels my passion to create more. Thank you deeply, and I look forward to our next tale together.